I mean, we are talking about autonomous driving. We are talking about autonomous, like content creation. We are talking about automatic analytics, alerts. I mean, everything. I mean, whatever humans did to build business required logic and reasoning. Now AI is able to mimic that. Do you think it is dangerous? The new jobs will be created, but the scale at which it will be created will be slow compared to at the scale at which there will be layoffs. So people will have to adapt to AI because they'll have. It's just like math. Everybody has to know it. If you don't know it, then you are losing out big time. It is good because if you are on the side of AI, if you are using AI to like interact with the world, but if you are not using AI with the world, tough time. When you are going through a street, you see all the stores have the lights, their flashy lights on their billboards. You see, like when you are opening your mobile phone, you see ads. Wherever you go, everybody is trying to gain your attention. Everybody is vying for your attention, and they are just paying money for it. Now they have entered your phone. With their phone, they have entered your house. Now they are influencing your decisions by showing you ads, by making you buy things that you don't even require. They know more about you than you know yourself. So how will you compete with that system? We are moving into a very sci-fi world. I mean, at very rapid pace. I mean, I expected some sort of chat GPT sort of system would come, but not before 2030. I expected. This is 7 years ago. I mean, it has arrived already. So before it has already arrived. So imagine, I'm just drones. Everything is the autonomous. Automation is the thing. Everything will be automated. Agriculture, automation. Medicine, automation. Gene editing, automation. Even if you are constructing buildings, automation. So AI is all pervasive. It is already in our lives. It's just that we don't have cognitive discriminative ability to observe that, okay, this is AI that I'm using. So imagine in a world where this is the interdisciplinary, like quantum computing has also come, VR has also matured, AR has also matured, AI is already there, blockchain based security is there. This digital world that we are like on the cusp of arriving, it's dangerous. It is very exciting at the same time dangerous. Exciting because it opens a new possibility, and you are able to see what human race will achieve with that technology. Dangerous that it will give very cheap thrills. So these call center companies, basically, especially the banks or lending companies or fintechs, basically who give loans, so they need to communicate with their borrowers.
Yes.
About their due dates, collections, processes. So I give a pre-trained AI telecaller to these enterprises, which is multilingual in nature, which can speak 11 Indian languages and have dialogues like a normal human telecaller.
Okay.
The borrowers are not paying money when human telecallers call. How do you think bot will call and it will start work? So initial this skepticism was there. I'll tell you why this skepticism was invalid and which was proven later on. Agent, multilingual AI agent, we call it Maya. Maya has spoken with more than 10 million unique borrowers and has collected more than $500 million of debt. Just last month, that is in July, enterprises gave us $220 million of debt to recover from 3.5 million unique borrowers. So automatically call should go. There is no manual intervention required.
Okay.
So imagine us setting up a call center in 30 minutes and 21 clicks. And earlier, setting up a contact center,
you need PCs, you need to
space, hiring, money, capex, opex, lot of things. Now it is reduced to 30 minutes. It's just like buying Netflix subscription. And it is pre-trained. You just give out your enterprise name, you just set the agent name that you want, what do you want it to do, you want it to sell the loan or you want to collect the loan, if you want to activate the loan application or the user, or you want to retention, cross-sell, upsell. This entire communication that lending companies were doing with their borrowers, now we have sidelined the human agents for a significant bit. And we are keeping them reserved for escalated conversations.
So since I'm very curious about your product and probably people who are watching it might also be. Is there any sample of voice recording is available? So what the AI actually sounds like? Yeah.
I can play one demo call.
Which language is this?
Hindi I'll play
Okay.
right now. Because I have that handy. Hindi, English, anything I can play.
हेलो, क्या मेरी बात अनिल सर से हो रही है?
हाँ जी बोल रहा हूँ।
मैं से मेधा बात कर रही हूँ। मैं कुछ टाइम से आपकी 1122 रुपए की EMI के लिए आपसे संपर्क करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ। क्या आप आज पेमेंट कर सकते हैं?
नहीं।
ओके, पर आपने अभी तक भी पेमेंट नहीं किया है, इसलिए हमें आपके Amazon पे लेटर अकाउंट को हमेशा के लिए डीएक्टिवेट करना पड़ेगा। परमानेंट डीएक्टिवेट होने के बाद आप अपना अकाउंट फिर से चालू नहीं कर पाएंगे। इससे बचने के लिए क्या आप आज पेमेंट कर सकते हैं?
नहीं।
ठीक है, क्या मैं इसका कारण जान सकती हूँ?
मेडिकल इशू है।
सुनकर दुख हुआ। हमारे सीनियर आपसे बाद में संपर्क करेंगे। अपना ध्यान रखें। धन्यवाद।
In today's podcast, I will be discussing with Vishwanath Jha, who is the founder of Saarthi AI, AI-based voice communication tool for enterprises. He himself is a self-taught data scientist. He also has experience in teaching and also consulting enterprise when it comes to data science and machine learning. In this video, we discussed about impacts of generative AI, how Saarthi AI solves the collection issue of fintech in India. I'm Saravana Bhava. I'm co-founder of Tech IS. At Tech IS, we teach web development and data science courses. I leave the link in the description. If you're interested in learning web development, data science, and ChatGPT courses, you can check the link in the description. I'll be posting long format conversation videos with business leaders and entrepreneurs and successful personalities. Show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. Hi Vishwanath.
Hi Saravana.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for coming after you. I think you're from your work, right?
No, I was at my place. I was on a meeting, but wrapped up for the day, and
Okay.
now I'm available for an hour.
Okay. Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yes. Vishwanath, before starting, I would like to know a little bit about yourself, like your childhood. Maybe,
Okay.
Because this is the one question
Okay.
I ask on the
Yes.
founders. I want to know how was their childhood
Okay.
and how did they start their career? Yeah.
Okay. So I come from a very small town in Bihar. It's called Muzaffarpur. So my native is Darbhanga, just like 70-80 kilometers difference, adjacent districts. So I was born in Darbhanga, but raised in Muzaffarpur. And coming from a very humble background, my father was a government servant back then in Bihar, statistical officer. My mother was a housewife. I had two elder sisters. Big joint family. So it's like I think very blissful, very beautiful times basically. So I feel a lot of times blessed that I had such a beautiful childhood. A lot of independence, the scope, the margin to do mistakes, try to do some things, do mistakes, learn from it. Nothing like difficult or troubled childhood. I mean, I think that way I was like really blessed with the environment my parents were able to create around me and nurture me. And then that's how. I mean, village is like where I love to be. I don't know, I mean, and that's not very natural habitat for us living in a green, area, pollution free, organic, everything, natural. So I love village, and I stay, every 3-4 months, I try to go spend some time, at least like a 2-week, 3-week time in my village, roam around, agriculture based, family a little bit. So very rooted that ways. And that's it. I mean, after my 10th standard, I moved to Delhi. I studied in Kendriya Vidyalaya Central School, very affordable school. I think, in fact, I completed my 11th, 12th standard, and 7,200 rupees school fees.
So I think I'm your colleague in that. I'm
Okay.
from KV Madurai.
KV Madurai.
Yeah.
I'm from KV Machid Mode. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. So, and since then I came to Bangalore. I studied in Dayanand Sagar College. I got a degree in information science and engineering. And around the same time, so in 2010, so I got introduced to AI through one of my friends who talked about it. So, and then Professor
2010.
10, yes.
2010 you got introduced to AI.
Yeah.
So who was this friend?
So my CTO, my co-founder Samir. I have he's my college friend, best friend from college. So when we were like very outliers kind of in the classroom, so that's why we bonded. And one of his friends basically at IIT Gandhinagar was he probably heard about introductory machine learning course from Professor Dr. Andrew Ang, and he mentioned it to me. So, and I started viewing it. So I remember very clearly back then the internet speeds were very slow. And we used to get limited monthly internet broadband limits. So just viewing those courses, all my data would go. And my sister used to get angry. What did you, where did you spend all this data and all? So I was like, okay, I'm studying. So the very early days of MOOCs. And nowadays, massive open online courses are very common. But this was beginning. That's when the edX. Before edX, there was MITx. So MITx, Harvard X, and together they got merged. It became edX. This side we, Andrew Wang, he started Coursera. So and then a lot of professors started giving their course. I remember a lot of professors like Professor Vijay Kumar from I think he was from University. I remember University of University of some popular. I'm forgetting the name, but he was a very powerful. Yeah. Then there was Geoffrey Hinton's course. Then MIT OC. Then I somehow got introduced to MIT OCW also. So I started spending more time, more data just around this. And while in 3 years basically, I kept on, rather than courses in college, I started spending time on internet learning these things. So mathematics, statistics, all those different courses were there. So I was open to possibility that now internet can be used to learn something. So I just got to know that.
In 2010.
Yeah, and by 2012, I was in probably 6th or 7th semester. I remember I was kind of got used to a little bit of MOOC early days, but I got used to it. I think 2013 Coursera had started. Before that, it was a Stanford's open website basically, lagunitas.edu. So there I used to take that course. So
These courses,
yeah,
you paid for?
no, free courses.
These are all available for
Yeah, I've never paid any company to train me, self-taught.
Okay.
Last 13 years I've been doing that, upgrading myself every day. Even today, nowadays in last few years, because I moved into executive role, so lot less in-depth reading of research papers, but I work with my AI team on research problems, how to formulate it, how to articulate it, discuss different frameworks, how we can tweak certain things for a particular downstream tasks in AI. So that's how my journey started, 13 years almost. So right before it was word to vec. I remember Thomas Mikulov's very powerful paper was word to vec, which was first time we started encoding tokens into numeric values and vectors. So it was very interesting. And since then, you see where we are today. So this is 2023. We are in the age of ChatGPT, generative AI, and open. Entire world is now open to be disrupted with this AI technology.
Okay. So from this, I understand that you have been constantly curious to learn new technologies from your university time.
Yes.
So can you please tell us, how did you drive, or how did you end up in startup ecosystem? Because you are a self-taught person, you're curious to learn new things. Of course, startup have a lot of avenues to learn multiple things, not just
True.
technical
Yeah.
areas like sales, marketing,
Product, engineering, a
and
lot of stuff. Enough.
there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So please tell us about that.
Okay, so okay, so when I graduated, I joined a company called Mu Sigma, and I worked there for 6 months, exactly 180 days. So that was the only company that I could find at the time who could give me job in data science and like machine learning, because I saw on their website that it was written NLP, machine learning, computer vision. So I knew these terms because I had taken courses around it. I knew what these technologies can do, and I got job offers from some other companies also, good like traditional companies, but I didn't choose it because I wanted to go in this route. So I joined that. Then I worked for Fractal for almost like 9-10 months. Then couple of startups, brief stints, 3 months, 6 months, and then I realized that okay, I was always interested in doing applied work, applied research, not just limited to number crunching and machine learning, like based on numerical data, because that's what I already did. Like when I was as an analyst, data scientist, I decision sciences guy, I did that part, and that was not much interesting to me. I was more interested into applied stuff like understanding how you can teach a machine to understand human language, or how do you train a machine to see exactly like how human is seeing. I mean, in terms of perception, sound, auditory perception. So those kind of things basically was my interest area. So I thought in India nobody was giving me that kind of job. So I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll do something. Yeah, that's how. And that's how I started. 2015, I quit my job and I started traveling. And around that same time, Fractal asked me to train their people on data science. So there was a friend, called Tejas Sanghvi, who was running the Fractal Analytics Academy. So he asked me, why don't you come and train our people on R and data science? And I was like, okay, why not? How much will you pay me? So it was a good check. So I was like, okay. And I got a contract of 18 months. And it was very easy. So I used to give like a 40-hour week to them, training. And the idea was to get them get every like student or who's in the class, be professionals basically, get started with data science. How do you think like an analyst? I was not making them expert. I was just teaching them how to learn. Because I was self-taught, so I knew where all I faced challenges as when I was learning. So I tried to make those things simpler for them. I articulated, this is where you'll go wrong. This is pitfall. So how do you escape that? So it became a lot easy, and during the process I started enjoying. So that data science, and that's when I started. After that, training was started, and I was like doing online courses. Training started. A lot of people, almost like in a year, almost 10-15 weeks. I used to go for work, and I used to make like good money. So I was like done for the entire year. So I used to spend remaining time traveling, reading new technology, just exploring life. I was financially independent, so I could do anything I want. And again, since my childhood, as I mentioned, I was always given independence. I was encouraged to take decisions rather than being indecisive and too much thinking and not doing. So that helped. Basically, I met a lot of people, and then I realized that okay, this could be a new problem that I could solve. Like in India, data science specific professional platform, I wanted to build, and it was like before Data Camp was was launched. So, and I had some things in mind, some platform, and I discussed with some of the customers, basically prospective customers. This is what I'm trying to do. Unfortunately, and it suddenly came. I was anyways doing as a freelance, consultant, data science consultant, machine learning consultant, trainer for them. So I thought, how do I make it like I record my videos and make a platform, and it starts paying me like a SaaS platform I was imagining. And I whatever money I had, I was like pouring in and creating content anyways for others. So same content I had for myself, I could have shot the videos, did initial gigs, but I lacked consistency. And the UI of the platform that I built, the MVP, the user interface, I didn't like that. So I never took that product to end, like prospective customers who could have paid me or given me feedbacks.
So you could have hired a UI designer, right?
Yeah, but back then, I was just starting. I had a UI designer somehow who could, and that's how we could do this initially. But the design aspect, everything that now I'm much more. I mean, this is like 8 years now. I'm talking. So I have much more control in terms of articulation. What is my requirement? What exactly do I want to see in the platform? Back then, it was just beginning. So I myself was not very precise in my business requirement. So that was my flaw. And when I did it, and I realized, and I never took it. And one day I was like, okay, shut it. I mean, it's not happening, and I quit.
So what was this, the SaaS platform?
Yeah. So online training platform where I was like giving videos, live lectures, and
like a LMS, learning management system.
Yeah, you can say so, definitely. But it was very early version of it. It was like where there's a video, there is a example scripts that you want. If you do, you will get results. You do some of the coding aspects, the functions, how to use them. You try it, and then there is a compiler which will give you results. And then there is a new on the same screen. So while in the lecture is going on, you use that compiler to basically do the exercise which is being given in the lecture. So that real time learning. At the same time, there is once the lecture is ended, then on the same screen in the bottom there was quiz questions basically. So there's a problem statement. You try to solve this thing.
Something like W3 school, like.
Yes.
But you had a video instruction as well. Got it.
This is 2015.
Yeah.
So and very focused data science and machine learning, because this is what I knew. Big data science, machine learning was my thing that I had acquired over those period. So that was my first formal attempt at entrepreneurship, the failed one. So I realized one thing. Only later I realized how.
This was in 2015.
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I realized I was in Bombay back then. So I realized this is one of my lessons learned. No matter how good or bad it looks, if the functionality is there, you just end up in front of the customer and show them. I should have gone for it.
Okay.
So that was my first mistake at entrepreneurship. I realized into the product market fit. You need to take product to the market. They will give you feedback. Then you iterate on top of it. So I didn't know all these things. So I went, okay, give it. So like that. And then I continued training for different institutes. And around 2016 late, I started getting consulting projects. People started reaching out to me on LinkedIn. They will hear the word deep learning, machine learning, and they will say, okay, we want to implement deep learning and machine learning in our company. Please help us. How can we implement these? So I started interacting with businesses, and I was like, yeah, this is really good. I can make money like that also. So that's when I started my company. I got it registered in February 1st, 2017. It was called Gamut Analytics Private Limited.
Okay.
Gamut means a complete range, like gamut of emotions, gamut of colors. And as I said earlier also, right, like I didn't want to limit myself to just numerical data crunching. I wanted to vast applied science basically. How do you understand perception, human perception? How can you give that cognition to machine? That was something that I wanted to do. So that's how and since I was coming from an analytics background, so natural analytics consulting was a thing that I wanted to do. So Gamut Analytics Private Limited was the company that I got registered, and then I started talking to a lot of people in the industry. Okay, this is if you give me this data, I'll give you this insight. I can solve you this problem, predictive problem. Whatever I have learned, I tried to sell to the market. But these companies were, somehow. I was not able to convince them. These were very early days. So I spoke to a few people, very, some experts from different domains, like telecom expert. I'll go and ask him, please give me advice. To a BFSI expert, and on LinkedIn, I'll reach out and say, okay, please guide me. How should I do it? So one of those exercises, basically, I met one gentleman. I was in Bombay, I think Bombay BKC, Starbucks. I met him, and I told him, Guruji, tell me what to do. So he was like, see, you are very young for consulting, apparently, and you lack pedigree. So I would rather recommend you that you work on building products, because if the products have utility and there's a clear value proposition, it will sell itself. You won't have to sell it. And that sounded like a very rational logic to me. I'm like, oh, wow, such a great thing that he has told. So then we're like, yes, we should build product, and tell me what kind of product should I build. Then he took for a while, and then he said, see, the government of India is pushing very hard on the JAM Trinity, Jandan, Aadhaar and Mobile. So and they are trying to add all the Indians to the banking mainstream. So what is happening now is a lot of new Indian language internet users are joining the banking mainstream, and banks are finding it tough time interacting with them and scaling their customer support operations like that. So why don't you build a chatbot? I was like, yeah, very simple. I mean, you have to understand human language and generate responses. Yeah, but that was a very naive understanding. I mean, I thought it would be very simple, but it is not. And only later I realized. I mean, even today I'm solving. Even on the way to this venue, I was talking to my scientist on a framework. What new framework can we try which can make it much more efficient? The conversational AI systems could be made much more aware, much more contextual, much more human-like. So that's there. So he said, and I was like, okay, that's where I pivoted. Okay, let's do conversational AI. Then I started evaluating different frameworks that were already available in the market. There was API.ai, which later got acquired by Google. It became Dialogflow.ai. Wit.ai was there, which got acquired by Facebook. Alexa got acquired by Amazon. Watson was acquired by IBM. Siri was acquired by Apple, SRL. So basically, I knew that all these tech giants were also trying to solve this problem. And but the quality of bots, we all know in 2017 how poor and pathetic it was. So I mean, it was definitely work in progress, but the quality that the customer expected, as an end user, you expect a conversational system to act mature. That was far from reality. So I thought, despite these tech giants trying to solve this problem, this is still not solved. That itself is very
option for you to explore. Yeah.
Yes. That there is a validity that this problem is worth solving, but I don't know. It is not solved yet. And then comes the further problem in Indian language internet users.
Yes.
So the Indian languages technology, when I started finding out things, practically it was zero, zilch. Some academic papers in some universities, very disparate. So the last many years, we worked with governments, a lot of bodies, which basically liaison between government and the industry, tried to work with them, forced a lot of things. This is how we should be doing. And finally, we see today, the government, the Bhashini project, if you see how exactly it is. Now government is focused. For the first time, I remember 2018 or 19, I got a call from the ministry that, okay, this is something is happening. I think
about the Bhashini project?
Not Bhashini, before Bhashini. Bhashini is now the
latest
name. But before that, there was NPLT, National Platform for Language Technology. Then there is National Mission for NLTM, National Language Translation Mission. Then there was FICCI Indian Language Internet Alliance. So there I was a founding partner. So there were multiple initiatives that were going around where suddenly we saw language technology everybody wants to solve. But because I was practically facing problem.
Yeah.
As a startup, I was trying to solve problem.
Let's go back to Bhashini. You said you got a call from ministry.
It was not Bhashini, but
so from the ministry of
Mighty.
Yeah.
From Mighty, I got a call that there is an event that in New Delhi, in IIT Delhi campus, there was an event. So Dr. Pushpa Bhattacharya from IIT Bombay, he was chairing that thing, and all the NLP scientists, practitioners, everybody from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Manipur to Rajasthan, almost like 100 people were there in that room. Very small, not very small, but yeah, it was very jam-packed auditorium sort of stuff. So, and we were all discussing ki how do we
All are data scientists. And
researchers. I was the least experienced amongst all. They were like stalwarts. They were like legends people. And then there were people from Apple, Microsoft. Then there were professors from all the premier institutes. Then there were few startups who were working in AI, and everybody got a chance. And I was probably the second last or something. So mostly everybody has said whatever they had problem. But all this while I was just noting my problems. Because whatever problems I was facing, I was honest that okay, this is what is happening with me. Please tell me if there is a solution to it. So I went on, and then since I was trying to solve for Indian languages, so I started speaking in my native tongue. Like started. This is the problem. I emphasized. What is the need? Why we should invest in this, and where all we should, which all areas we should invest in. For example, for any machine learning model to be built, there was data corpora is required. Now, how do I understand that? What kind of research work is going in Anna University in Tamil Nadu versus in Manipur University versus in Kashmir University?
Yeah.
I mean, I need a unified platform where I can, as a startup, if I go into making a machine learning corpora, that will be a separate company altogether. How do you expect startups to solve that problem? So, and such a sad state that we had to do it because there was in Indian languages the corpora was non-existent. So all those data we had to do ourselves, NER, intent classification, semantic role labeling. So and since I was frustrated because I had to do it myself, so I could vocally I was very vocal about these things on those meetings. So I got like a lot of people took that thing and we worked upon it. Since that time I have been closely involved. I worked with IEEE SA also on standardization of the systems, conversational AI systems, voice AI systems, NLP systems. What should be the standards? So my team, I roped in my team also. We worked with them, but then I realized over a period of time, they work very slow.
The team,
government, and they were probably at least they were doing something right, and there was a renewed focus, vigor to solve this problem. But the pace at which I was running as a startup as a bootstrap startup, I could not have waited for them to solve it. So I had to do it, and I kept on doing. Now came COVID. I mean, before COVID also I tried working with. So now Gamut Analytics is something that I started, as I mentioned, analytics consulting, and around when I pivoted for conversational AI system.
So you are basically selling chatbots for enterprise? Like
No,
what
no,
was
no. Back then?
Yeah.
Yeah, back then yes.
Yeah.
Back then yes.
Before Saarthi AI.
Yeah, so I think Saarthi is a trade name for Gamut Analytics. The name of the company is Gamut Analytics. So registered name is Gamut Analytics, but Saarthi. We rebranded ourselves as a Saarthi AI, new brand basically in 2017 because we wanted analytics nahi kar rahe. We are doing in conversational AI. Okay. So let's find a new name. So that's when we discussed and we found a new.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So was Gamut Analytics doing well, or like you have good customer? Oh
no.
So
we were exploring. We registered a company. I mean, we were like very as I said, very curious in nature. We knew that we were confident that we have skills, so we can sell our services. So we got registered. We registered the company.
But you were not able to get amount of clients.
Yes. So that's when we realized and I told you the incident where a gentleman actually told me that why don't you focus on building products rather than analytics consulting services. So that's when I started conversational AI. I did market analysis. Then I found obvious gaps in the technology stack. Why these conversational AI system and 2000 systems were not working well, because they were trying to make question answering agent, and what we needed was a dialogue agent.
Yes.
So that dialogue means there is a context around the conversation. There is a context around which you have a conversation.
So we have to go back, trace back to what was the initial question, what's the topic about.
Yeah. So whatever information exchange that has happened between two parties,
it has to be remembered.
Yeah, exactly. That is called dialogue state tracker. That is the piece of component that was missing. They were only making NLU, natural language understanding. They tried to understand human query, and based on that they generate response. So that is Q&A bot that they were building. Exactly. However, when we try to monetize this product, you will see that you are comparing with a human contact center agent, right? If you are comparing AI contact center agent, so you have to give near experience, dialogue experience, not question answering.
At times it's frustrating because
Yes.
I end up somewhere, whatever the option given by the chatbot,
Yes.
that doesn't suit my
Yeah,
need.
tap button only
Exactly.
they give you. Yes, that was the problem. So because that system was only based on NLU systems. They understand human language, and that too in very limited dimensions they could understand. And based on that, they wrote if then the statement, if you do this, then generate this response. If you do that, you generate that response. But that is now not how a contact center conversation could have been automated. Because but there are different ways to automate that. We found out later. So we saw that, okay, this is like these are the gaps. What are the gaps in the understanding human languages? So we saw. So back then, Watson had the best of all NLU systems. At least they were thinking, like a larger dimension, they were able to understand. But still, application layer, this dialogue state tracker was not there, dialogue policy was not there. Based on the dialogue state, which has been covered till date, what should be my next action? What is the policy for that?
Exactly. And you are saying the whatever research made in Anna University or whatever happened in Manipal University, there is a mismatch of, sorry, not as a mismatch, there is a lack of coordination between all this.
Yeah, earlier there was no focus as such, basically, of a
Uniformed platform.
unified platform. Basically, government never thought that this is important. There were institutes. CIL Mysore was there. The LDCIL is also there. The multiple language-specific institutes were there, but they were just reduced to academic institutions. No applied thing was coming out.
Till date, is it solved?
Yes, I think to a certain extent, we are in a much better shape. I can say we are in a much better shape.
Do we have a unified platform right now?
Yes, Bhashini is that project.
Okay.
So there also there is Bhasha Dan concepts which was recommended. So they asked how do we collect data? So I recommended crowdsourcing we can do. Lot of platforms are there, like Common Voice project was there for global languages. So I recommended why not something similar to that for Indian languages? Why don't we have it? So which you see if you check the Bhashini project, you will find that was very interesting. Then we thought how we can get this data, so we can host competitions in schools, colleges, like literary events basically. So
What kind of competition? Just example.
I think it was more of like literary events, literary like poem writing.
Using AI?
No, manually. So that
Okay.
data can be created.
Oh, okay, got it. To accumulate the data,
Yes,
you wanted
yes.
to create.
Because we wanted to get data so that we could work upon it. So we worked with government. Then government started. IIT Madras took initiative. They were working on some ASR, Hindi ASR. They were working Tamil ASR. They were working. So they had limited 100 hours of data. So very very peanuts. When you're working. So but. And then there were some other models also. Then I think CIL Mysore was working on Indian language text-to-speech system for 13 languages. So for both male and female voice. So I got access to the data. I mailed them, okay, give me that data. So from that data, I started learning how do you build a system. Then we obviously built our own, recorded our own text-to-speech data for 11 Indian languages, both male and female, and use that learning. So basically, what I'm trying to emphasize is that in those early days, basically we got a lot of support in that way that those data sets which were earlier available, irrespective that they were small, but they were made accessible when we raised voice. We should not be involved in working on corpora. It is government's job to provide us so that faster research can be done. So, and they acknowledged it and they started working on it. A lot of NPLT platform, which I recommended, so they made it for testing. A lot of corpora was listed. There was significant effort done. I mean, I read CDAC was involved, so they were building a platform. So there was a lot of work done to improve the language technology stack of India and voice. And that was a lot of great, as I told, in that room there were like great legends, of Indian language technology scene, landscape.
What is the result of that meeting? One which had?
So the government took its own sweet course of time. Today we see Bhashini project, and there are lot of other open source initiatives also in Indian language technology focused. Now we are not alone. I mean, earlier back then people didn't even understand what is the difference between language understanding and speech to text recognition, ASR.
So actually we are in generative AI era.
Yes.
So it's everyone knows text to speech and text to image.
Yes. Text to video,
yeah,
multiple.
everything
Yes,
there.
yes, absolutely.
It's becoming like Google. Yeah.
Yes. That's the revolution. That's why I mean it's very dangerous time to be in and going forward. People have to step up in terms of their skill. Either you are with AI or you are reduced to ashes. It's as simple as that. Try to understand that human reasoning. There are a lot of cognitive human skills, professional skills like writing content, generating content, doing some analysis, numerical analysis. They were like paid cognitive skills. Enterprises paid to their employees, their team members for this task to be done, and they paid in salaries. Now these things are already automated by AI. So what does this signify? And we have seen in last 13 years how it has happened. So I can tell you how it has evolved like this. So going forward, by as we move next 12 to 18 months or 24 months, we will see massive outcry. A lot of jobs will be automated. It's like industrial revolution. This is like AI revolution. So this is gonna be like very difficult time.
So regarding these topic, I have already spoke to other guests who participated in this in my show, but they had a different approach towards this situation. They feel generative AI is there. It's inevitable. It's already there. It's already out there. Enterprises started using it. So moving forward, the talents or resource, they have to find ways to use the technology.
Absolutely.
To
Not
survive,
technology,
use AI to improve their productivity.
Absolutely.
So,
but imagine now the new jobs will be created, but the scale at which it will be created will be slow compared to at the scale at which there will be layoffs. So people will have to adapt to AI because they'll have to, it's just like math. Everybody has to know it. If you don't know it, then you are losing out big time. You are losing on your human productivity that you can. It's a augmented human productivity. AI just gives augmentation to your existing skills. It makes you faster. You have got some assistant basically with whom you can have a reasoning sessions and like have a chain of thought reasoning. So now earlier these were all philosophical constructs. Not many people focused upon it, and I mean even I didn't have that much deep interest on philosophy. But you see now everywhere ethics, philosophy. In the age of AI, that will be the new things. Basically, people will want to evaluate against. The AI systems will have to build using certain philosophies, certain ideology, what to do, what not to do, because it's a reasoning ability. AI is what the state at which we are already today. AI systems have become so mature that it can generate low level human cognitive skills already. And as we go farther, I mean, we are talking about autonomous driving. We are talking about autonomous, content creation. We are talking about automatic analytics, alerts. I mean, everything. I mean, whatever humans did to build business required logic and reasoning. Now AI is able to mimic that. Do you think it is dangerous?
Yeah.
It is. So it is good also, it is dangerous also. It is good because if you are on the side of AI, if you are using AI to interact with the world, but if you are not using AI with the world, tough time. I mean that's my understanding based on whatever I know for last 13 years, but how I have seen the evolution, and it will be further it will further move higher dimension when the this hardware level pay we are able to get more quantum computing devices basically which are compliant and very faster. We are moving into a very sci-fi world. I mean, at very rapid phase. I mean, I expected some sort of chat GPT sort of system would come, but not before 2030. I expected. This is 7 years ago. I mean, it has arrived already. So before it has already arrived. So imagine, I'm just drones. Everything is the autonomous. Automation is the thing. Everything will be automated. Agriculture automation, medicine automation, gene editing automation. Even if you are constructing buildings automation. So AI is all pervasive. It is already in our lives. It's just that we don't have cognitive discriminative ability to observe that okay, this is AI that I'm using, or this is AI that is working with me. And that makes it dangerous in a way, because now AI will be used to see. AI has its own genuine merit, lot of merit. The drugs which could have taken roughly 25 years to come to the market can come now in 5 to 7 years. Things that like we just talked about the productivity in terms of marketing, content generation. You can do things faster. Video content generation you can do faster. These things are already happening nowadays, and this will only gonna go. Then there is VR coming together. So imagine in a world where this is the interdisciplinary, like quantum computing has also come, VR has also matured, AR has also matured, AI is already there, blockchain based security is there. This digital world that we are like on the cusp of arriving, it's dangerous. It is very like exciting at the same time dangerous. Exciting because it opens a new possibility, and you are able to see what human race will achieve with that technology. Dangerous that it will give very cheap thrills. People will human mind, human psychology, by its very own like experience, is very biased in nature. We are nothing but our own biases. Based on the decisions that we have taken in the past, our cognition, our rational thinking is shaped unknowingly, knowingly. Social conditioning, family level conditioning, college conditioning, groups, peers that you have, their conditioning, news channel that you read, that conditions you. Which street you are living in, which shops are there, that is shaping your worldview. That is shaping your perspective of the world, right? So, and everybody, and this misinformation and consumerism that has already engulfed our world. People are stuck to their mobile phones, just playing games. People are getting. I'm nobody to comment on somebody's choices, right? But as a collective human race, if I see when I start thinking, it feels like we are in a matrix. We are being conditioned to think in a way, act in a way, behave in a way, and now AI has come, which is further gonna expedite the speed of that influence that is going to happen. So God, that is dangerous. Imagine somebody's morphed images floating around the internet. All your public images will be used for negative use. Your location will be used for your targeted some advertisements, which is I don't know. It can be used for multiple negative things. This AI as a technology can be abused also, just like social media. If you check the early social media, 2006, 2004, 2005, it was very very clean, peaceful.
Yes. Just a place to chat.
Yeah, people were curious to share. Very safe environment. But now you see what has happened to social media and what is the impact of social media on society. Are you able to?
Yes, got it.
See,
I truly agree.
so if the social media can be blown up with the misuse of AI, and it will be very difficult. So it is, yeah. That's the thing. I mean, I'm looking forward to the future. I want to play a very active role in shaping the this human cognition, and trying to bring a perspective which basically brings them towards light, towards knowledge, towards self-awareness. For example, I'll just give you one food for thought. If you go in a cab, or if you are going via taxi or your own car, you switch on a radio FM, right? And then a song comes, and then comes an ad.
Yeah.
When you are going through a street, you see all the stores have the lights, their flashy lights on their billboards. You see, when you are opening your mobile phone, you see ads. Wherever you go, everybody is trying to gain your attention. Everybody is vying for your attention, and they are just paying money for it. Now they have entered your phone. With their phone, they have entered your house. Now they are influencing your decisions by showing you ads, by making you buy things that you don't even require. They know more about you than you know yourself. So how will you compete with that system? You have to be self-aware. If you are not self-aware, you will be in a very vegetative state, and you'll end up basically.
So with Saarthi AI, so you're owning an AI company.
Yeah.
What exactly the product you are selling and to who? Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you. So at Saarthi, basically, we provide the native Indian language technology stack for voice and Indian languages.
So means for
we-
better understanding,
so
it's
basically-
Malayalam to Marathi. Is it like that?
No, not just that. Imagine. So you know about call centers.
Yes.
There is a enterprise on behalf of which there are call center agents who speak to their customers, right? That is how it is. Imagine, and these agents are human agents are they can speak 1, 2, 3 at max 4 language, 5 language. Finding a is not possible, right? Humanly it is, and if it is there, then he will not work in a call center.
Yes.
Right. So for businesses who want to scale their business, and the customer support operations will also scale. If it is there is a larger. So this call center companies, basically, especially the banks or lending companies or fintechs, basically who give loans. So they need to communicate with their borrowers.
Yes.
About their due dates,
Exactly.
collections processes. So I give a pre-trained AI telecaller to these enterprises, which is multilingual in nature, which can speak 11 Indian languages and have dialogues like a normal human telecaller.
Okay.
And it is pre-trained to handle the entire customer communication life cycle for the entire 100 days.
Okay. Okay. I have a very important question here. For example, let's take Hindi. Okay. In Hindi is majorly the Hindi belt starts from Haryana,
The entire northern
UP
hinterland,
and
yes, till Bihar. Yeah.
Bihar. But everyone have their own dialect, right?
Yes.
So
What is dialect?
dialect is colloquial slang. It's slang.
Try to put it more in terms of sound.
Sound.
So what happens? What is that? If a word is being pronounced in a different way,
Yes.
right? So how do we pronounce something? On a particular phoneme, on a sound unit, you stress, you give more stress, you elongate, or you change, or you combine two different sound units
Yeah.
and make a word out of it.
Yeah.
And that word could have like pronunciation little bit difference.
Yeah, and some words could be used in a particular region,
Yes.
which might not be used in a
Absolutely.
different
So
region.
ethnogeographic communities, they
Yes.
have a lot of special words that is only native to their own community.
Yes.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
how do you solve that issue? When you said you're selling to enterprises, so the goal, I come to the goal. The goal here is you're going to bank, let's say any bank, a nationalized bank is saying, use this AI, your customer will believe it's a real person, right? When I'm getting a call from a real person, so I can know because of the slang, the way they mix up English and Hindi.
This
Sometimes
is expectation.
Yes.
What you are saying, this is an expectation.
Yeah.
But I correct my customers from this expectation. Because, see, a lot of questions, early days, 2-3 years ago, when I actually found collection as a business problem, did my go-to market around this. So a lot of companies used to ask me this question. Businesses are not, borrowers are not paying money when human telecallers call. How do you think bot will call and it will start work? So initial this skepticism was there. I'll tell you why this skepticism was invalid and which was proven later on. There is a intent. See, anybody, whether it is a call center guy, human agent, or it is the AI telecaller, what exactly are they doing here? They are carrying
a message.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are just a carrier.
Yeah.
And they are sending a message via carrier to a human and in an organized, orchestrated manner. And they expect them to behave in a certain way, which is to make the payment on time.
Yeah.
Right? Now, it doesn't matter if it is human or if it is a AI telecaller. What is important is that you send out that message in a very hyper personalized fashion on a channel of communication which they are more preferring, on a preferred time, in a preferred language, so that they understand the meaning behind it. What is the use of sending an English message, SMS message, to a guy who doesn't understand English? You understand?
Yes, I got it.
So it is about the personalization of the message that is important. It doesn't matter ki, like who is calling. We have spoken with our agent, multilingual AI agent. We call it Maya. Maya has spoken with more than 10 million unique borrowers and has collected more than $500 million of debt. Just last month, that is in July, enterprises gave us $220 million of debt to recover from 3.5 million unique borrowers.
So
This is AI is already doing in 11 Indian languages.
means your model or your product, what you developed, it's already been successful.
Yes, we
Like,
are
started collecting money
Yes,
back.
yes. We will turn operating profitable on a monthly operation level. We'll break even next month in September 2023. So the cost that we incur, our monthly cost, we'll be able to sustain based on the revenue that we are earning from the customers, and it is only scaling. So very exciting time now, because that's why I told you. I mean, AI, if you understand what it can do for you, and for enterprise, selling it to enterprises, you have to understand that what is their need. Earlier they were using human telecallers because such sophisticated AI systems were not there. So now there are sophisticated AI system which can carry that message and pursue them. Somebody say that today I will not pay, I will make payment on 27th.
Okay.
So automatically call should go. There is no manual intervention required.
Okay.
So imagine us setting up a call center in 30 minutes and 21 clicks. And earlier, setting up a contact center,
You need PCs, you need to
space, hiring, money, capex, opex, lot of things. Now it is reduced to 30 minutes. It's just like buying Netflix subscription. And it is pre-trained. You just give out your enterprise name, you just set the agent name that you want, what do you want it to do, you want it to sell the loan or you want to collect the loan, if you want to activate the loan application or the user, or you want to retention, cross-sell, upsell. This entire communication that lending companies were doing with their borrowers, now we have sidelined the human agents for a significant bit, and we are keeping them reserved for escalated conversations.
I would like to understand your model or business model. So usually how the collection company works globally is they take out a percentage of the lack of overall money they have been collecting, right? They take out a percentage. Do you follow the same model, or you just
entered that model? I'll tell you. This is again very good question, because this is the evolution. See, I'm a first gen entrepreneur. I don't understand what is thing. I was a technology enthusiast. I was studying AI. Because I wanted to understand how I can make my life simple, how I can make a machine which can act like me, which can talk like me, which can behave like me. So I was technology focused guy. So, but when I started bootstrap company, I realized that for 4 years I was bootstrapped, and I realized that in order to continue my research at a scale I want, I have to raise money. And in order to raise money, I have in India, every VC angel investor that I talked to earlier, they said that they want to see the revenue first. Nobody was like that bullish. Okay, you are solving this problem. Okay, take my money and solve it. So I had a different journey. I raised less than $3 million till date, and still I'm a category defining company in collection AI with VoiceBot. So. And in those difficult times, basically, I realized that in order to pursue this research at a much faster scale, I would need money, external capital, which was not coming. So one way I thought how I can get the external capital, because based on the feedback, if I start making revenue, then businesses will, then VCs or any angel networks will start funding me. So then I focused on monetization. Only then I was forced to monetize, because I was never thinking from a business point of view.
What was the initial mode when you reached out to this banks or collection or lending companies? What you gave the product for free?
Yeah, no, virtually almost free. Like dirt cheap price.
Not like a 100 license or million calls or 1,000 calls.
I'll tell you how I kept. So because I was technology guy, so I had there is an agent I have made which is pre-trained in nature, and in lending companies can leverage those agents to solve their communication problem, collection problem. So number of minutes my agent speaks on your behalf, I will charge you flat per minute. like 3 rupees
Yeah.
per minute, 2 rupees per minute.
Got
So I was coming from that mindset.
Mhm.
कि okay, contact center problem solve कर रहा हूँ, contact center like per minute cost mobile recharge you
How
do
much you add the operational cost and you
yeah. But then if I made it operational cost, if I started pricing my product
Based
on my
on-
operational cost,
then you will be still competing with the same.
no. Then they will not pay. Enterprises would have not paid because they didn't trust technology, na
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
So in order to make them get a taste of AI, what AI can do, I had to practically price it such affordable for them, not for me. Thinking them first, thinking customers first. Ki what is the price point at which they are ready to give me money? So let's start from there at least. So from there we came. Then some of the customers came. They said, okay, no, we don't want to pay you for the calls where the collections is not happening.
Yes.
So we will only pay you flat success fee based on each collection that you do.
Okay.
And that will vary on the lending buckets basically.
Yes.
The more late, higher the price
Yes,
basically.
exactly.
So, and that's how I started. Very cheap. So, because I didn't know that collection as a business industry was working on percentage, and if I started giving the same percentage based model to my customers, they would have said, "Okay, what is difference then?" And they didn't trust this technology, so that I couldn't have priced it higher.
Yeah.
So once they got a taste of it, and that also allowed me, because my system was also learning, my product was also learning, because it was a hypothesis that voice bots can be used for solving this collection communication, but it was not proven. So only when I get a chance to speak with the end borrower, then I will be able to prove that this technology is working based on numbers.
Yes.
So I started acquiring customers by incurring losses,
Yeah.
so that they start, and I started burning money.
So who are your customers? Like,
So
typically?
today, all the big NBFCs like Bajaj Finserv, Shriram Housing, Mannapuram personal loan, Mannapuram two-wheeler loan, Mannapuram gold loan, then Indostar, then Capri loans, then TVS Credit, Hero Housing, Piramal Housing,
So they are your
L&T, Tata Capital, Cholamandalam, Paytm, Lending Card, Credit B, Cred, Smartcoin, ePay Later, Kist, iFinance, Microfinance, Sonata Finance. So
Yes, goes on. So all the major private lending companies in India. So
they are my customers today. Yes.
So now they have. What is the success rate?
So now basically before that I'll just come to the last question.
Yeah.
Conclude that. Now I have come to a percentage based model. Where now I have started offering my platform, the world's first communication AI platform as a service. So earlier there were CPaaS, communication platform as a service, like multiple companies are there, I don't want to name them. And today these CPaaS companies are trying to integrate AI systems, AI conversational AI bots with their platform. But in my case, my AI agent came first, and around that I had to build a communication platform. So how do you use this AI agent? How do you schedule a campaign? How do you view the conversation that has happened? How do you see the insight, behavior, analytics around it? So for that, I made a digital single unified platform, all in one.
Okay.
Where if you want to run a human campaign, you can do that. If you want to run an AI campaign, you can do that. If you want a human plus AI campaign, you can do that. And then you can select the strategies already.
Calls, text,
Everything, call, text, email, WhatsApp, all 4 channels basically. And because there's a way, I'll tell you, for example, why this omnichannel thing is required. Because multi-channel CPaaS, multiple companies are there. But what I offer is a truly omnichannel experience. And what I mean by that is that, let's say I'm calling a customer for a collection, and this guy is not picking up my call. So what should I do? Should I wait? And should I call him next day? Or should I reach out to him on WhatsApp and try to engage the customer on WhatsApp? So my job on a success-based outcome is to reach out to the customer and deliver the message and nurture him or her, and provide counseling to them why it is important to pay on time. If you don't pay, what happens? So positive reinforcement. Those people who are actually listening to the counseling and paying ends up paying. That's our impact. And for those people who would have anyways paid just because of human call or a AI call, that is also population is there. But in that cost, the cost of collection has come down compared to human operations, AI operations we are using. So the cost is very, very, very cheap.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but the technology cost or the back end cost would be higher.
Server cost, yeah. So I think that's why I said next month we operationally
will be
break even. Yeah, next month we'll be operationally break even, and by March 24 we'll be like fully profitable. All our existing books will be like adjusted. So right now we are in a little bit tough spot. So something. So we are trying to get out of the situation. A lot of mess is there. I think poor decision making and wrong choice of maybe wrong choice of strategies and people to execute those strategies. So I mean this is a learning experience, but yeah, so that actually made us very lean as a team. And a lot of art, we could realize that the thing that we were doing with 180 people, today we are able to do that with less than 70 people, and we are turning profitable. So
using AI.
So
because that's the contradiction, right? So in the early of our conversation, we were having how AI is going to take up jobs, but on the other hand, the bright side, it helps a lot of startups, like a lot of bootstrap entrepreneurs. Who are bootstrapping.
See, job losses are happening. Let's be honest. I mean, my technology is reducing a lot of call center agents' job. It is doing it. Let's acknowledge it. And similarly, somebody is doing AI-led invoice, like reading. OCR. So he is solving that manual work. So everywhere, wherever there is AI, why enterprises are adopting AI? Because of efficiency,
it's profitable,
trying to optimizations in terms of what take cost and take speed, optimization, efficiency. So that is what
they can scale 10 times.
And at much affordable cost. So wherever it is already happening. Okay, the jobs will be lost, but it will also give a level playing field. That's one thing that I knew very early, that AI, the way it is evolving. Every 30 minutes you get a new research paper on Reddit or Twitter. You'll find every 30 minutes, and you just stay on that community. You'll hear. So it gives a very level playing field for everybody who wants to enter AI. Even today, even after 13 years, I'm in this technology. I've been studying, practicing, teaching, consulting, building products. But still today, I feel that everybody has equal access to this. You know why? Because technology itself is evolving. So what it was 3 years ago is useless now, because there is now something very different now, which is much more efficient, much more affordable. So that will continue happening. So who does better, who does faster, who does in a much efficient manner? You should have the eye to use that AI technology to solve a business problem where there is a business propensity to pay you money to solve their problem. That's the bottom line.
I totally agree. I don't disagree that AI is here. We cannot use AI. We cannot boycott AI. So
that's not happening.
I'm not entering into that argument. I'm not entering that argument.
Okay.
But we were just saying how extreme our opinions are. Of course, one side there is a issue, but other side it's fixing. So we have to embrace both.
See,
we are in that phase.
There is always there are always two sides of the coin. If there is only one side of the coin, then you don't use that coin in daily life. Right. So if it is YouTube also thought that YouTube platform was being abused. People were putting in wrong or socially not wrong, but socially not accepted videos, right? But people did it, and YouTube had to think about ways to prevent those abuse.
Exactly.
So similarly, for any technology that happens, whenever nuclear bomb. I mean, people came nuclear energy. One person was focused on building nuclear bombs. Other one was using the nuclear energy, harnessing the nuclear energy to electricity. So it is happening like that. And the best part is that AI will make a very federated and very, very strong community, I think, going forward. I look forward to see that day because AI will enable people. Obviously, there are a lot of challenges even with ChatGPTs. Why they are not being directly used in enterprise customer interaction setup? Why it should not be done? There are valid reasons for that. And agree. Pricing is one of the things. Things what not to do. LLMs can do everything, but within the enterprise scope, you have to train LLMs that okay, what it should not do. That is important. That layer is not there. So next layer of thing, that innovation will happen on that front. So I think very exciting time to be in this space. Every day it is changing. I mean, what like you don't feel bored.
So coming back to my previous, I think I'm going back and forth.
It's okay.
Yeah, because you're very dynamic in answering and with a lot of enthusiasm. You would like to answer. I thoroughly enjoy that.
Thank you.
But going back to the question, I'm Saarthi AI. So what's the collection success rate?
So it varies. It varies based on loan products. So loan products are of various types. Some are secured loans, some are unsecured loans. In secured loan, we have two-wheeler loan, housing loan, like loan against property, multiple. So the ratio varies. But in secured loan, it goes up to 96-97% successful collection. Because
96%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or in personal loans, it goes anywhere between 87 to 93%.
87 to 93% collection.
Personal loan, retail, small loans basically. BNP.
These are hard buckets?
No. Till DPD 30.
Okay.
Hard buckets are further 60, 90. NPA settlement offers, they are different.
Okay.
Pre-due to DPD 30, that is like 30 days past due days. In that bucket, the total allocation that we get out of that, if it is a personal loan, minimum 87% of the people do make their payment.
Prepay.
Yes.
Incredible. And one more thing. How many languages is that?
11 Indian languages.
11.
Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Gujarati, Bengali, Punjabi, and English. So next set of languages that we are working on, Gujarati we have added recently. Uriya we are trying to add. So still there, early days basically. But yeah, I mean, since our solution is focused.
So since I'm very curious about your product, and probably people who are watching it might also be, is there any sample of voice recording is available? So what the AI actually sounds like? Yeah.
I can play one demo call.
Which language is this?
Hindi I'll play
Okay.
right now because I have that handy. Hindi, English, anything I can play.
हेलो, क्या मेरी बात अनिल सर से हो रही है?
हाँ जी बोल रहा हूँ.
मैं से मेधा बात कर रही हूँ. मैं कुछ टाइम से आपकी 1122 रुपए की EMI के लिए आपसे संपर्क करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. क्या आप आज पेमेंट कर सकते हैं?
नहीं.
ओके, पर आपने अभी तक भी पेमेंट नहीं किया है, इसलिए हमें आपके अकाउंट को हमेशा के लिए डीएक्टिवेट करना पड़ेगा. परमानेंट डीएक्टिवेट होने के बाद आप अपना अकाउंट फिर से चालू नहीं कर पाएंगे. इससे बचने के लिए क्या आप आज पेमेंट कर सकते हैं?
नहीं.
ठीक है, क्या मैं इसका कारण जान सकती हूँ?
मेडिकल इशू है.
सुनकर दुख हुआ. हमारे सीनियर आपसे बाद में संपर्क करेंगे. अपना ध्यान रखें. धन्यवाद.
Oh, so since he said no, oh, that's very interesting because, is it only because he said nay? What if he say different anyway?
I'll play more.
Okay.
I'll play more.
Okay.
I'll play more. Let me say this one.
हेलो, क्या मेरी बात नाजिम सर से हो रही है?
हाँ जी बताइए.
मैं से मेधा बात कर रही हूँ. आपने अभी तक भी 996 रुपए की EMI पेमेंट नहीं की है. अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आपके अकाउंट को हमेशा के लिए बंद ना किया जाए तो कृपया बताएं कि क्या आप आज पेमेंट कर सकते हैं?
30 मई को कर देंगे, कल हो जाएगा पेमेंट.
बढ़िया, मैं आपको पेमेंट लिंक SMS कर रही हूँ. अपने वादे के अनुसार कृपया जल्द से जल्द पेमेंट करें. को चुनने के लिए धन्यवाद. आपका दिन शुभ हो.
So this is like the other one. Let me check few more if I have like
But it's incredible, because when the person say I have a medical issue, right, in the first person,
Yeah.
so the AI, the voice said, okay, I'll redirect to the senior
Senior,
manager.
please take care.
Okay.
सुनकर दुख हुआ. It
हाँ.
was I'm sorry that you had to. You are
So
going through.
it shows empathy as well, right? It shows some kind of emotion.
That's personalization I was talking about.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Maybe it still sounds like a generated voice, but I think it serves a purpose, according to me, because almost it serves a purpose. Who's the next level? Next level is going to be real human, because it says
Yes.
manager. So
Yes.
that would be the actual human.
Yeah, depends. So basically, when do you want to introduce AI? I mean human, because this can go up to NPA and post settlement related calls also. If there is a bad date, 90 days has passed since the last due date and the customer has not paid, borrower has not paid. So as per the RBI guidelines, it becomes bad debt, written off. So then starts the settlement related offers. If you pay today, the 30% off all thing, you just pay today and we can settle this thing. So those calls start. So till that time, this AI can continue. So the different nudges that we give, legal notices can be sent.
Yes, exactly.
So all those things are already baked in. Just like a payment link it was sending.
So you might say we will send you a legal notice.
Yeah, it sends, actually sends.
The immediately. Please check your inbox for
Yes, actually. And they are personalized, everything.
Okay.
So SMS, payment links, this is already there. And similar, imagine something cross-selling. Like those lending companies have borrowers who have already repaid their loans.
Who have a clean credit history.
Clean credit history, and they have never defaulted, or they are good customer and their loan tenure has matured. Now, these companies want to resell them a new loan. So cross-selling, you have been a very valued customer to us. So our company is offering a new loan to you at very affordable rate. Are you interested? And then it starts very simply, like it starts with greeting, like how are you feeling today, sir? I'm calling from XYZ Housing Finance Company. You have been a very good customer. Do you want to take a OD or a top-up loan on your existing loan? So there are multiple communication processes. So this is and think about it, communication. This is what communication automation, right? So human civilization's existence is based on communication, based on languages. Language shapes your individual worldview. So our technology, our application is so fundamental to human existence that it blends. We are trying to talk to people in their native languages. Imagine Tamil mein, Telugu mein, a lot of customers. So all the down south basically. So the top 5 states basically where there is maximum lending: Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. Those are like big states where there is maximum retail loans are there. So and we know the market. So but the population is small. So in Hindi, roughly 70% of the calls that we make are in Hindi.
Yeah.
Because right from Rajasthan to Bihar, people are using. People are very fluent with Hindi. They might have different variation of Hindi. Yeah, there is a different variation of Hindi, and that is largely because we understand Hindi as one language. But there is no Hindi. The formal Hindi that we say, it's a khari boli basically, which became more prevalent after Munshi. Yeah, there is no such thing called Shuddh Hindi or Shuddh Hindi. It's a perception that people have created. The formal Hindi, which is today prescribed in textbooks, it is a specific dialect which was promoted after Munshi Premchand or such artists. Basically, some figures they were there and they proselytized that framework. There is Awadhi, there is Braj, there is Bundelkhandi. Maithili is a separate language, then Bhojpuri is a separate language. If you go, Haryanvi is a different accent, but again, it's a different language because different people are there. Rajasthani, Marwari, different languages are there. But the beauty of Hindi is that it is
inclusive.
Everybody can understand because the grammar rules are more or less same. The nouns and the verbs are pretty much same, so you can understand anyway. So my native tongue is Maithili, but I understand Hindi very well. I understand Urdu very well. I understand Punjabi very well. Why? Because the cognition, the word vocabulary that I have, the root words are common across all these Indian language family.
Yeah.
So even if it is in Kannada, I understand because the lot of the words are taken from Sanskrit, same Sanskrit from where Maithili also has originated. So it's very all these languages India together. It's not very different. It's just it is inspired from same grammar, more or less same grammar is followed. A specific vocabulary which you earlier mentioned, region is specific, community is specific. Those vocabularies are definitely unique, because that is, if you don't know a particular word, let's say I don't know something, a new word I say, kaito. Kaito, I don't know if there is a new word, there is a specific meaning to it. But today, if I say that there is a kaito, I am doing kaito, you will think, what is kaito? Because you don't know what means kaito.
Yes.
Right. So there are, similarly, when I encounter a new vocabulary which is new to me, first time to me, I have never heard it before, I don't know what meaning is ascribed to that particular word. So that's when I was like, okay, what is this guy saying? So I try to think, try to reason, try to ponder. And how do I do that? By the sentence structure, the semantic structure of the sentence that is formed, and the similarity of that word's root word to existing any word that I have seen. For example, here kite I have heard. So probably I try to relate the word of kaito, the meaning of kaito, to kite. Is it something related to kite? I'll try to think like that. So that's how human brain works in interpreting languages.
Yes. So far, you've been very dynamic. I thoroughly enjoyed. Any closing thoughts for the audience? Like, what would you like to share?
Well, see, just stay aware. I mean, my only 2 cents to wherever I go, to whichever group of people I speak with, I just ask them to be more aware. Try to study yourself. Try to understand your human own existence. Try to answer the question, who am I? Figure it out before it's too late. If you don't know yourself, anybody will use you, like manipulate you into believing something, making you do something that you don't even want to do, or you truly don't believe also. So if you, and the age that is going to come, this misinformation, this consumerism is reach its peak. Indulgence will be in abundance. So in order to, there is nothing wrong with it that you indulge and you do these things, but excuse me, but if you are not aware about yourself, about what's happening around you, and if you are not fact based, if you are not doing course correction in your belief system, in your rational thinking, so it is very dangerous. It is dangerous. Matrix again. It's real.
Interesting. So that's very thoughtful, and
Thank you.
I believe you have been one of the most dynamic and very well energetic articulator
Thank
or
you.
communicator I came across, and especially in this channel. I think the audience would agree the same. And I wish all the very best for Saarthi AI and for
Thank
your
you. Thank you
venture.
very much.
Do great products and build products for people, and try to make a global product.
Definitely, that's the plan. That's the
Yes.
plan. So we intend to be the first AI company from India which goes, like
NASDAQ?
maybe, why not?
Yes.
Sky is the limit.
No, I strongly believe we also.
I want to list it on India,
Yeah.
because I chose to stay in India and work on Indian languages for a reason. I could have easily gone to outside India and made my life there. Not difficult. But I chose to stay here because I represent a very marginalized middle class society. So I want to set an example by living a truthful life, purposeful life, going through ups and downs, and leaving them a pathway that if a stupid person like me can grow from being what I was like few years ago, and I've been a curious student, and how I can change the world, how I am contributing to this world where I'm living with positive changes. I think the idea is to inspire a next set of people who see that, okay, this guy could do, even I can do that. So if when people start doing it, unfortunately, I've seen few examples. A lot of my ex-team members, my students, they have started startups, the companies. So I feel happy. I feel satisfied. Like even if one new company comes out of Saarthi and people start doing it, I promote that. So all the team members that I have, I always tell them, once you go out of Saarthi, start a new company. I want you to do that, so that there is more opportunity. Because if I didn't choose to stay in India back then and do it here, I would not have been able to create the opportunity to build Indian language technology stack in India, and these people would not have got job. So one person like me who took decision which impacted so much. Imagine if 100 people are doing the same thing. So the scale that at which we will be innovating, we'll using AI to build something, technology to build something, and everybody's talking about India. India is the 21st century is all about India. India's rise to prominence. So how this is happening? How this will happen? Us who in India are staying, fighting here, doing here, trying to change things. Pick one small problem. We are as a society, we have a whole bunch of problem. Even if 1% of the population picks up one problem each and starts solving it, imagine the next 20-30 years, very bright, very beautiful, like utopia. I mean, that's the optimist in me talking. But at the same time, I already talked about the dystopian fear that I have, which is very much plausible. So we just need to be aware and focused and keep on doing, whatever we want to do. And if it is meaningful, if it is purposeful, if it is doing any good to society, no questions asked, just do it.
Okay. I think with that, we come to the end of the show.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.